Hello, Apple Valley High School Fab Lab students. Today what we're going to do is make a stool, and you're going to engrave onto the top of it using our ShopBot. So you're actually going to cut into the top of the stool, but not cut all the way through it. So the first thing I'm going to do is open up VCarve Pro. I saved for you a file on Schoology that is the file that you're going to use to kind of prepare this top. So we're going to go to Stool Top. We're going to open that up, and it has the correct dimensions already set. So if you go to the dimensions, it's 12 by 12. We're going to use 0.75 3/4 inch plywood, and what's set up for you already are where the pockets are that the legs are going to fit into the stool. That's what you see here. You're going to actually delete these because we're going to cut the other side of that for your image, but you need that as a reference because they're going to cut into the wood about halfway through. So you got to make sure that you don't, when you do your pocket, that it doesn't cut into it. So now what I'm going to do is get an image. So I'm going to go over to Google in Chrome, and I've already searched for an image. I went to St. Olaf College, and I'd like to have the St. Olaf logo on my stool, but I'm not going to use the real detailed one. I'm going to use one that's really simple. So this is the one I've already downloaded. So I right-clicked on it, I did Save Image As, and you can see I actually saved it in the Advanced Fab Lab folder that I've created. So that's ready to go. So now I'm going to go back into VCarve Pro, and just like we did on our cutting board activity, I'm going to go into Import Bitmap, and I renamed it. So this is the one that I'm going to bring in. I'm going to open, and you'll see that I'm going to probably resize it so that it's as big as it can be. So I'm going to go to the bird for tracing the bitmap and go down to preview. That looks pretty good. I'm going to be able to kind of expand it in a minute. So I'm going to hit apply and close. And then I'm going to move the image off to the side because I don't need that anymore. I'm going to hit the delete key, and now this is the vectors that I want to kind of work with. So I'm going to hold the shift key and select all these vectors, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make them bigger. I'm going to click on the image and kind of rescale it. You can also use this tool to move it. This tool sets the object size, or you can just grab a corner too. So almost got it as big as I want it. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go as close to the edge as I can, because I'm actually going to cut, when I toolpath it, I'm going to toolpath on the inside of it. Another thing you can do is you could center it. So I'm going to, my workspace is 12 by 12. So I'm going to just make sure it's exactly in the center. So I'm going to go 6 and 6. So it's pretty close. And then hit apply. And now it's right in the center of everything. Next thing I can do is I can see where this is going to cut. So I can get rid of these. So I'm going to delete those pockets and just make sure that I'm only going to cut down about 1/8 of an inch. So I'm going to hit the delete key for that. Now I'm going to toolpath. So I'm going to toolpath the image first. So I'm going to select all, hold the shift key and unselect the outside part. And I'm going to go, last time we did the profile toolpath, now I'm going to do a pocket toolpath. So I'm going to select that, cut depth, I don't want to go very far, maybe 1/8 of an inch, which is 0.125 inches. It's picking the wrong tool bit, so I have to go into the tool bit and change it to the downcut bit, and then click OK. Passes, it's going to take 1 pass because it's not going down very far. That looks good. So I'm going to hit calculate and see how it looks. Yeah, it doesn't look too good. If you look at the real image, it can't get this part. So I think what I'm going to do is change my pocket tool path a little bit so that I can make it, might try to make this even bigger than it is. So I'm going to turn that off so I can see my image. And then I'm going to select everything again and use the shift key to not select that outside part. And then I'm going to make it a little bit bigger, see if that can kind of clean things up. And I've already toolpathed, so what I'll be able to do when I re-toolpath is there's actually an icon or a button that you can re-toolpath everything. So this is going to be almost to the edge. I'm going to drop it down a little bit, and then we'll try re-toolpathing. So if you go to this button, let's see, where is it? Recalculate all toolpaths. So I'm going to turn that back on, recalculate. Tell me that it recalculated all of them. Now we're going to see if I still don't think it's going to be able to get into here. Yep, not going to get into that spot. So what I'm going to do is turn this off, and then on this part I may change to a different, I think, because I want this to show up and I want this to show up, so I'm going to select both of those, and I'm going to do a profile tool path that goes down the same depth, 0.125. Downcut bit, I'm going to cut on the inside of those lines and then hit calculate. Still didn't do it. So I guess what I'm going to do on this profile is cut on the line and see if it does anything. No, hit cut. That worked. So it's going to be a little bit wider. It's probably going to be about a little bit wider than normal. So now if I look at everything, turn on all the profiles, that looks pretty good. I'm happy with that. So I'm going to close everything. This button actually shows you how long it's going to take. It's only going to take about 3 minutes. And now I'm ready to save the design file and save the toolpath file. So last thing that I got to do though is I have to toolpath this, and that's going to be another profile toolpath, only this time we have to cut all the way through, and that's going to be 0.8 because our wood is 3/4 of an inch thick. So that's going to take 4 trips around. I want to cut on the outside right. I'm going to hit calculate. Tells me it's going to cut all the way through. I'm fine with that. And that's what it's going to look like. You may want to add in a tab too. So I'll probably go back to this and add in a tab so it doesn't shift around. So it put in a tab here and a tab here. That's good. I added 2 tabs. And now that's ready to cut. So I'm going to save the file as with my last name, first initial, the class or cohort I'm in 4A, and then Stool. And I'll save that to where I can upload it to Schoology. You can also save the toolpath file if you'd like. But remember, I'm going to be checking that. And you can save it the same way. Comes up with that, only now it's going to be a ShopBot file. So I'll hit save. And now I'm ready to cut it. So I hope that kind of made sense. You kind of saw how I had to kind of change my design a little bit with each time because the tool pathing didn't look like the way I wanted it to. And that's kind of how you do it. So have a nice day.